It's common to see many abandoned buildings belonging to the federal government littering various states across Nigeria, especially in the old capital city of Lagos. In the midst of economic downturn and the nation's huge debt profile, the Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning says the government plans to address the issue by selling or transfer ownership of the assets which are described as a major drain of funds.
Council approved the setting up of a team, a council on the National Capital Projects Information System, which involves the key infrastructure ministries. And this team will be headed by the Honorable Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning. And they are to look at and prioritize fund-selected projects on a yearly basis to completion. Look at the possibility of maybe privatizing some of the projects or transfer of ownership to either state or local governments, how to repurpose the projects for alternative use, or completely abandon or dismantle the project and treat those as sunk costs.
The team will look into projects from the last 5 years. Also reporting on memos passed is the Minister of Agriculture.
The Federal Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development today presented a memo on the revised National Animal Health Policy for approval. The Council listened to the memo and graciously approved.
He again restates that the country is food secured despite the flooding impact and concerns raised by some farmers.
One of the things is to make sure, first of all, that there is food in the country, supply and demand. That's why we are making sure that we'll do the dry season farming. We know a lot of farmlands have been flooded and will lose some crops from the rainy season. So we want to make up for that. And it's not just the ministry, even the central bank, are involved in agricultural production. So we are banking on making sure that we do that. And the president is 100% behind the augmentation of food production, and we will do that. So I am assuring you again, there will be no food shortage.
One of the other memos approved for the Ministry of Finance is for the construction of a new office for the Revenue Collection Agency, Federal Inland Revenue Service, in Lagos at the cost of 14.8 billion naira, which will save the government 4 billion naira in annual rent, while the Ministry of Aviation got approval for 1 billion naira to build the first prototype of aviation medical center at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja. The cost is to cover the supplies of medical equipment and furniture.
And the House of Representatives Committee on Mines and Steel Development has questioned the rationale behind the personnel cost for Ajaokuta Steel Company, owing to no or low productivity at the site. Now, this query followed the presentation of the performance of 2022 and 2023 budget defense of the company before the Committee on Mines and Steel. And some members of the committee raised some key questions on how long Nigeria will continue to play around industrialization. Sole administrator of the Ajaokuta Steel Company, Sumaila Abdul Akaba, said the amount spent on personnel for security and maintenance of equipment is justifiable. Abdul Akaba said before the engagement of the security personnel, equipment worth billions of naira was stolen from the facility.
The 2023 budget of the ministry key to the revival of the steel industry in Nigeria. What are the efforts being made to bring Ajaokuta Steel Company back on track? You have people who are not on IPPS and over 300. Some people are even earning more than us. You have 500 people collecting 500 for doing nothing in Ajaokuta. You have over 220 security staffs who are not on IPPS. Where are you getting this money?
There are 7 stages of development. Steel sector seems to be very central for any nation to move from being an agrarian country to development.
Take your power station. The country is currently having problems with electricity. What stops Ajaokuta Steel Company from rolling out power and selling it or contributing it to the national grid?
The only problem we have is that we never had a running steel plant in Nigeria, so we have limited people who have that experience. And the plant was never completed. That's why we could not, produce billets. It was never completed. That's why we couldn't produce the billets. And as of today, I can still tell you unequivocally that this plant is in a very good state because of the maintenance being done by the staff.